I bought some more books. I think I have a problem. Hey book lovers, Victoria here, and today I'm bringing you my August book haul. I think I did kind of alright book buying wise in August. I mean, I did buy 14 books, or really 15. I'm still waiting on one because it's taken a while to get here, but anyway, you'll see that in next month's haul. So yeah, I bought 14 books, but out of that, one of them was sent to me for review by a publisher. 3 of them were from the Booktubeathon Book Depository discount. 2 of them were on sale for $5 each, and 5 of them are sequels in series that I'm reading at the moment. So I think I've done alright, and generally the rest of the books were pretty cheap. So let's get into it. The first book I got was one of the books I got from the Book Depository Booktubeathon discount, and that is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. This book has been out for a while, and I wanted it back when it was released. I saw it in like a Dolly or a Girlfriend magazine, and it sounded really interesting. But then I sort of forgot about it. You know, I wasn't as into reading back then as I am now. And then when I joined BookTube, it was sort of doing the rounds. It was sort of doing the rounds on BookTube because the movie was coming out, and it's come out like in America. Still, it's coming out in September in Australia and the UK, I think. But yeah, so when I saw it on the Book Depository, so when I saw it on the Booktubeathon discount list, I was like, I'm gonna get this now because I really want to read it. It is about a guy named Greg who is told by his mum to befriend another girl in his year who has just been diagnosed with cancer, and so along with his friend Earl, they sort of just become friends with this girl, and I don't really know much else about it, but I think it's going to be pretty good. I've heard, you know, this has gotten really great reviews, and I'm pretty sure that it doesn't end in death, and I really hope it doesn't, because I don't like books where you get attached to the characters and then all of a sudden, just when everything is going perfectly okay, they die. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully I'll get around to it very soon. The next book I got is The One by Kira Cass, the 3rd book in the Selection series. I said in my last book haul that I had ordered this at the same time that I ordered books 2 and 4, but it obviously didn't arrive until this month. So hopefully I'll get to this one soon. I'm slowly making my way through the series, so yeah, this is obviously the 3rd book in the series, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but if you've read the 1st or 2nd book, you could probably guess what this one is about just by the title. The next book I got is Hitler's Daughter by Jackie French, and this one just arrived yesterday, and I read it yesterday because it's not that long. I read this back in year 7, I think it was, for school, and it was really interesting. It is about these group of friends who play the game, and that is where they where one of the girls, Anna, tells a story about anything that one of the others thinks of, and that is usually on a rainy day, and so it's been raining for like a week, and they decide to play the game, and Anna herself comes up with the story, and it is about Hitler's daughter Heidi, and sort of what it'd be like if she existed. And it's just really interesting, thought-provoking, because it's about how Heidi, so it's kind of about like Heidi knows that she's Hitler's daughter but doesn't really know of the horrors that Hitler has done. She knows there's a war but doesn't realise that Hitler's kind of the sole cause of it. She's been told that the concentration camps are just work camps, no one's really dying. And yeah, it's just really interesting. It is a children's book, so yeah, it is just as good as I remember it from last time, but I'll talk more about it in my wrap up. So if you're interested, then go check this one out. The next book was sent to me by Simon & Schuster for review, and that is Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. I have already read this book, and I've already read this book, and a review will be going up on September the 1st, because that's when it comes out in Australia. It has already just been released everywhere else, but yeah, this was a really good book, so stay tuned for that review to hear more about it. The next book I got is An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. So if you saw my last book haul, I said that I was going to read some more of John's more upbeat books, and Abundance of Katherines is another one of them. This is about a guy called Colin who just dates girls named Catherine, and he's being dumped by them all, all 19 of them, and so he's on a road trip with a friend, and he's just going to try and find a Catherine who is not going to dump him. Don't really know much else about it, but I'm excited to read it. The next book I got was another Booktubeathon discount book, and that is Half Bad by Sally Green, the first book in the, I want to say it's called the Half Bad series, but I don't think that's what it's called. The second book is Half Wild. And I've heard about this book. It did, I love it. And this book and the series in general sort of did the rounds on BookTube earlier in the year when Half Wild was released, and I thought, oh yeah, cool sounding name, cool cover, not really for me, despite the fact I didn't really know what it was about. But when I saw it on the Booktubeathon discount page, I was like, right, what is this book about? Because everyone talks about it and everyone seems to really love it. And it is about a guy who is a half white witch and a half dark witch. And just, yeah, that's all I really know. And I mean, I really love the cover of this book because that's the back cover, although I do wish that it was the blurb. But anyway, this should be really interesting. Definitely sounds like something I'm going to enjoy, so hopefully I get to it soon. The next book I got is Prince Caspian by C.S. Lewis, the fourth book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. I am obviously going through the series properly for the first time, so I'm just sort of keeping ahead with the books because, they're not that long, so I need to just make sure I'm ahead of myself. And I accidentally ordered this one by mistake. I was going to get books 3 and 4. Book 3 is The Horse and His Boy. And I was like, no, I'll just get 1. And I just completely blanked that Prince Caspian was the 4th book because publication order, it is the 3rd book. The 2nd book. Anyway, complicated. But yeah, so I've since ordered The Horse and His Boy, which is the one book I am waiting for. But yeah, I'm excited to continue on with this series. Although I am slightly annoyed that this is the issue. It is like half a centimetre smaller than my other 2 books. So my series is going to look really weird. But anyway, I can live with it. I just really love these covers. The last book I got on the Booktubeathon Book Depository discount was Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. This book has been out for a while. I actually thought it was a more recent release, but I think it came out in 2010. So yeah, I saw this. I saw Kaz over at Little Book Owl talk about this a while ago. I think she was holding it, and it sounded really interesting, especially because she said there are, hang on if I can find a page that has something on it. There are like journal entries and scrapbook pages and maps and receipts and playlists and all that interspersed throughout the book, and that's what really got me. But it is about a girl called Amy who is moving across the country from California to Connecticut with her mum, and she has to drive their car across, but she's really reluctant to drive because her father was killed in a car accident, so she enlists the help of her old friend Roger to come along and drive and just go on a big road trip across the country with her. And it's just sort of about them reaffirming their friendship, getting to know each other, getting to know themselves, and yeah, it just sounds really fun. Definitely sounds like a summary read, so I'm probably going to save this for the end of the year. The next 3 books I got are the first 3 books in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, and Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. And these are the 10th anniversary US editions that, if I connect them together the right way, make a picture if you can see that. I already had the Lightning Thief, but I really wanted to get the series in obviously the same edition, and I really like this edition, so I've already read obviously the Lightning Thief, which I really liked. So yeah, naturally going to continue on with these 2 at some point. I'm excited. The next 2 books I got are from the Mapmaker Chronicles by A.L. Tate, and that is Race to the End of the World and Prisoner of the Black Hawk. I don't really know much about these. These were on Angus and Robinson for $5 each, and I thought, why not? All I know, this is a middle grade novel. I think it's kind of along the same lines as Percy Jackson, and what I know is that it is set in a world, and probably at a time, where the world is flat, and if you sail off the edge, then you fall into the mouth of a fire-breathing dragon. And so the king wants to map the world. And I'm pretty sure there's not many map makers in the world, and there is this guy called Quinn who is a map maker, so he has to go on this journey and map the world. I don't know, hopefully I enjoy it. And finally, the last book I got is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lenny Taylor, the first book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I think that's what that's called. I've wanted this one for a while and it sounds really interesting. All I know is that it is about a girl who is not only an art student in Prague, but she's also an errand girl for this monster, and she has to decide whether she wants to stay in elsewhere or stay in the real world. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one as well. So that is all the books that I got this month. I'm excited to read them all. I have already read some of them, which you'll see in my wrap up next week sometime, I think. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see my review of Until Friday Night, because I love that book so much. Other than that, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram to keep up with all my bookish happenings. Otherwise, I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.